bank holiday weekend. Going to be trying to fit in a few videos this weekend to get my vlogging all going and ready after doing the first one yesterday. So I thought I'd share a little bit about who I am and what I do. So I'm a creative designer. I work for a fintech company, but it involves doing video, graphic design, business cards, web pages, you name it, anything related to design, we do it. And I have the lucky privilege of working from home, and I have an office upstairs which has mostly everything I need for a day-to-day basis. But sometimes I need to go into the office, I need to do client interviews, things like that. And so I carry a little bag with me. Nothing too heavy. This is very minimal. I like having a minimal thing because I think if I take too much equipment and too much things with me, then it can get a little bit... I've just got too much gear, too much things to think about. One of the reasons I bought the RX100 in the first place, which is what I'm still filming on right now. So I thought I'd show you my little minimal bag, and maybe some of you guys out there that are also designers have some ideas and thoughts on which I can make this a little bit better. And that's the dishwasher going off. That's why you shouldn't put the dishwasher on so early in the morning. So yeah, so cool. So this is my AirTech TechSling. Air is a company in San Francisco, so you can't really get this from England. I had to ship it and it cost quite a lot of money, but I think it's worth it. It's a really cool minimal bag, very slick. Not too keen on the adjustable strap, but I think this is a version 1. I'm sure at version 2 they'll have a better strap. But anyway, so first thing, it has a back pocket which can hold 13-inch laptops, but I don't use laptops on my day-to-day going around. I actually use an 11-inch iPad Pro. This is with a really cheap magnetic case from Amazon, £10, but does the job perfectly. I've also got the Slim Folio keyboard, the official Apple one, but I don't use it because it's a little bit bulkier, and I tend to use the pen and I'm drawing, sketching, doing mood boards, that kind of stuff, so I don't really need to type that often. But for when I do need to type, which I'll just put this down on the side, for when I do need to type, I actually carry with me the Logitech Keys to Go, I think it's called, and this is a Bluetooth keyboard, really, really slim. I mean, it's really slim, really slim. Really light, and the battery on it's really good. It doesn't charge with a smart connector or anything, and sadly it's a micro USB. It's one of the only things that I actually have a micro USB for. I don't think it's going to track that. But seeing as the RX100 also has a micro USB, then I've got to carry one of those cables anyway. So, great little keyboard, great battery life. Haven't even charged it once yet, and I've had it for 4 or 5 months. Again, I don't use it that often, but it's good to have when I'm at an office, need to type, maybe changing file names, that kind of stuff. So carry this. So that's the back pocket all done. For the main compartment, this is where things change a little bit, but not too much on a daily basis. So this is my new mini camera bag for the RX100. Obviously the RX100 is not in it at the moment. But this is a Low Pro. I'll link all the description, all the products down in the description below if anyone wants to check any of these out. But this is just, it really tightly fits in. It also has nothing else bar just an SD card slot at the top if you want to add extra SD cards. But I just have one big SD card that I leave in the camera. What I liked about this was it has both a strap to put on your belt, but also has a strap here to put on a backpack, which is what I do with this. I tend to put it on the sling sometimes. I put this on anyway just in case if someone tries to pull it off me to rob me or something. I've got an extra thing to hold it in, although it's only plastic, so it probably wouldn't sit well. But I think I'm going to be looking at maybe getting a bum bag, or as Americans call a fanny pack, to have something a bit more trendy if I'm going out and I want to take my RX100 with me. Maybe a Patagonia one or a Fila one or something. I'll have a look and see which ones would fit my RX100. So that's for that. And then I have a really big battery bank. This is from Anker. This is an old one. It's not USB-C, it's just USB. Again, micro USB. So I'm keeping these things because the RX100 is my newest device, and I don't need to convert everything to USB-C because I've got so much stuff that still uses micro USB, sadly. But this is great. I tend to plug this in, plug the RX100 into this when I'm walking around, because at the moment I've only got one battery. I want to get a spare battery for my RX100, but I haven't done that yet. So yeah, good little battery. Lasts weeks, but I tend to, when I get home, if I remember, just plug it in to charge it up. It's slow charging, sadly, so it does take quite a while, but great little battery nonetheless. Then I have a tiny aperture light. I think there's a newer version of this, but this is great. It's again micro USB, but it charges. It's not got any batteries that I've got to worry about, and it's really can get really bright. And I tend to use it as a backlight, so that's not even full. Yeah, so what I tend to do is because I only have small lights, because I'm on shoot and I'm trying to do things. If I want to get the subject separated, although I'm actually getting attacked by the sun right now, then I will put this in the background like that, and it should separate from the back. Wait that one second, I'm just gonna close the curtain.
A few moments later.
So, as I was saying, it's super bright, but I can actually put it in the background, just behind the subject, and it should separate them a little bit better from the background, create a little bit more of a visual trick to just kind of make them stand out of the frame. Then next in here, I have a Samsung T5 SSD. These are great. This is a 1 terabyte. You can get them much smaller. I got this on Amazon Prime Day, for about just over £100. Brilliant. So this is great for what I tend to do is I put my my filming onto my iPad as soon as possible, and then put it onto this. So I've got a backup. And with the iPad OS, I'm running the beta 7 at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant for just transferring files over, keeping them safe as another area, as well as the SD card and in the iPad. And then when I get home, I tend to delete the stuff off the iPad, keep all my working files on this, and then back up to Google Drive once everything's finished with the master file. Ace little SSD, so light, silly light. Most of the time I forget I even got it. It's really, really good and super fast, way faster than my bigger LaCie drives. Although they're a lot more rugged, this thing's just brilliant. So next I have a little pouch, which is where I store all my cables. So kind of got a little bit of, it's all slow charging really, but it's better than nothing. So I have a micro SD and SD card reader to normal USB 3, but I plugged that in with the Apple dongle USB-C into the iPad with the SD card. Now I like this one because micro SD as well, because I also use a GoPro for shooting vlogs and things like that, so it's brilliant to be able to use either or, have a look at them on the iPad and work off the iPad using LumaFusion. Then I also have a USB-C to USB, the one that came with the iPad. Again, this is brilliant for charging my iPad, but also for using the USB-C SSD that we were on about earlier. So that's a great all-in-one cable, standard cable. I think as I swap things out, as I go more into USB-C, I'll probably carry a few more USB-C cables with me just in case. But I have one of these Octopus chargers, which I use for everything else, because it has USB-C, but it'll be only to USB 2.0, which is why it's really slow. But it's okay for plugging this into my charger, and then because this has micro USB, that's why I charge the Sony RX100 from. It's also where I can charge my batteries if I need to, and it's got lightning as well, so if I wanted to give my iPhone 10 a little bit of a boost, I can do that. Or what's in my pocket, which is my AirPods. Great for just testing audio, seeing if the audio's alright, and also listening to music on the train and things like that. I like these. These are the first generation. I had them since they came out. The battery's not too great on them now, but still using them. Don't need to see the point in upgrading to the wireless ones, because I don't really use wireless charging. So good buy. Expensive, but I have got my use out of them, so I can't really fault them for that. What else have I got? So this is my Rode Video Micro. This is what I had in the last video, the wireless audio solution. This great plugs directly into the RX100, and because it's got a clippy thing which should go on a cold shoe, I can actually clip this onto the metal at the back of the RX100 screen to have a decent little compact system. And then I plug the other one onto me, and then audio through that. Great. Still find it a little bit of a fiddly because the camera is so small, so I'm thinking of maybe getting a microphone that actually just plugs into the side that needs no hot shoe. I'm going to have a look on Amazon and maybe find a solution. I know iJustine's got one that looks pretty decent. I might have to try that one out and see what I think of it, because basically you just don't want to be faffing around, fiddling around with the RX100. That's the whole point of the camera. If you're doing that, you might as well just use either a smartphone or the A7 III that I have with a way better lens. So Other than that, I also have my new Tiffin neutral density filter variable one. I don't know whether this is actually worth the money, but it's pretty decent. It does the job, and it's on it's called a mag filter, which is what I've got a magnet that's on the RX100, and you just magnetize it on. Simple as that, really. But yeah, I'll do a review of this to show you the ND filter on and off situations when it's in harsh sunlight, to see what you guys think of that. And then I have my USB-C plug that came with the iPad. Great for charging things, really compact plug and also quite high wattage. And I have a little multi-tool that came with my 3-legged things tripod. This is great. It's got a flathead screwdriver and all the other areas. You know, it's a clip. Works great. It's good for tightening, quick release kits and all that kind of stuff. Really good. And I think that is it, other than my inhaler, which, because I'm asthmatic, sadly I've got to carry one of these around, and a Huel bar, which is, if I'm hungry, this is like basically a whole snack in a bar. So if I ever need to eat on the move, no food around, because I have a weird dietary requirement, then these are great. Just have them in my bag, just eat them. Done. So that is everything. My GoPro isn't in here, which I also carry as usually a backup camera, which I usually put in here. But yeah, for a small little compact bag, this is brilliant for carrying all my stuff. And if I really needed to, I've got a MacBook Pro 15-inch, it just fits in, but it's not very comfortable on I feel like it's pulling the zips apart. So if I got a 13-inch MacBook Pro in the future, then I could also switch that out as well for if I needed to do actual proper full-on graphic design work on the move. But the iPad Pro is getting pretty good at that, and I'll do some videos about what apps I use as a designer and which ones work really well, and with Creative Cloud, because I use Adobe Creative Cloud for everything, and sadly they're taking a little bit of a time to catch up in that department. But thanks for watching the video. Like I say, like and subscribe. I'm going to try and be doing more and more of these videos, getting more confident in front of the camera and all that kind of stuff. Now I'm going to go outside and do the gardening whilst it's really sunny outside. But thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.